everyone, welcome back to techknowlazy YouTube channel, and today we will be learning the top 35 Okta interview questions. These interview questions were figured out, listed and collected from the surveys that we conducted with professional hiring managements and HRs. So these are the top 35 questions that you can expect if you're a beginner, if you're an intermediate candidate or an experienced candidate. So this is a blend of all the three variants. So this 35 questions list should help you to be on the safer side in your upcoming Okta interview in the future. So wishing you best of luck, and having said that, if these are the type of videos that you would like to watch, then hit that subscribe button and the bell icon to never miss an update from techknowlazy YouTube channel. Now without further ado, let's start docket. So the first question is, what is Okta? So clearly it is a beginner level interview question. You need to explain your interviewer about what exactly is Okta and what is its potential. So basically Okta is a cloud identity service that securely provisions and connects users to the cloud and SaaS apps they need to do their best work. You can also define Okta as a method used to describe whether report mainly the cloud condition occurs in any area. So basically, let's assume that you're working on a cloud platform. Let's say it can be AWS, it can be Microsoft Azure, it can be Hadoop HDFS or anything, right? So whenever you're connecting to a cloud service for maybe data storage, analysis, or any kind of services that you are taking from the cloud service, then it will generate some credentials for the user. Let's say you have an organization with 100 employees. So 100 individual credentials will be allocated to your employees who are working on cloud, right? So each and every time for security purposes, your IT administration team might request you to change passwords every now and then, right? Now this creates a chaos. Let's say 1 out of 10 employees might have a habit to forget or miss their password, right? It can be chaotic, right? If that particular one person is a critical resource of the organization, then it is completely difficult to retrieve or do any kind of accessibility on your data. So what Okta does? Okta is something which creates an identity for your users. So this is like that chatbot, or this is like, it's not merely a chatbot. It is some kind of service, or it is some kind of an option which you can consider this as an extension, right? What it does is it basically ensures that you have the credentials and you are the authorized person to get connected to your data, and it is the one which recognizes, or it is the one which gives you authenticity to your cloud services. It is the one, it acts like the password manager in your Google. It manages all your passwords and ensures that you are logging to your cloud with an authorized device only, right? It's not like you can get connected with any of the systems that has, it's not like you're logging into some system like Google Chrome and you get all the passwords, right? It's not like that. The device should be authenticated and device should have the licensed version of Okta, and then you can get access to all your cloud services. That is what Okta does to your cloud services, right? For more details, you can check out the Okta tutorial on our YouTube channel. And with that, let's proceed to the next question. Mention some important benefits of using Okta. Okay, so far we have understood what exactly is Okta and what it does. So what are the benefits? Right, in the previous question we were unable to address all the benefits. So let's try to mention some benefits here so that we have a brief overview about the benefits. Again, this question can be asked to intermediate as well as beginners, right? So the answer for this question is, it offers you enhanced cloud security. It gives you seamless user experience, right? You don't have to remember all the passwords and login. Wait, it doesn't take all that time. So the third point is again the same. Eliminates hassles with passwords. You don't have to worry about the passwords you're forgetting every now and then. Then it manages user data and device details. Remember when I said you authenticated or authorized device to log in? That is what it does. So it also manages the ID of the system which got the authentication from the cloud, and it has the Okta service installed into the system, and it does all the work for you. And lastly, low CTO and high efficiency. So this is the best feature of using Okta on your local system. It offers you lowest CTO and highest efficiency. So you might ask me, what do you mean by CTO, right? So CTO is basically the Chief Technology Officer, right? So repeat. So the involvement or the services which you take from the CTO are reduced. So with that, you can also improvise efficiency, right? Time will be saved there. So with that having discussed, let's proceed with the next question. So the third question is, can you brief me about Okta authentication? So this question can be asked to intermediate as well as experienced persons. So what exactly is Okta authentication, how it works? Let's say I have Okta installed in my system and I've logged into AWS service. How exactly is it working? Can you walk me through? That is the question. So Okta authentications enable users to authenticate their business operations and platform tasks like multi-core authentication, account verification, and this also helps to recover your unforgotten passwords, unblock the account, and there are two types of authentications available. First is multi-core authentication and recovery, right? So what it does is basically you need to install Okta into your local system or the PC or any of the devices which your organization have allocated to you, and then go to the CTO or the admin department. They will provide you with two of these authentications: multi-core authentication, recovery, right? So basically in certain situations you will be in a hierarchy where you might not be having the power to recover some other Okta account, or log into another Okta account. There is something called admin and user rights or something like that. So they will give you the user access, and you'll get your credentials for your Okta and the cloud service you've been accessing with or working with, right? So every time you run your Okta, automatically you will get all the access to all your cloud workplace, right? So it's not like you just are kind of storing the data every time and just leaving it. You have multiple operations there, right? You might have to run analytics. You might have to run some queries and generate a report and create a dashboard and share it with your clients or something like that, right? And also you might have to perform some DDL operations where you have to delete some data or you have to add some data. Every one of those operations you perform will have an authentication, right? Every time you might not have to log in and log into the session and do the process. What you have to do is, if you have the Okta will automatically open up all the gates for you, and you can just do whatever you want entering into that session or entering into that terminal. Do everything what you want, generate a report or create a dashboard or create a file or something like that. Whatever you want to do on the cloud service, everything will be accessible through one single authentication from Okta, right? So that is about the Okta authentications. Now recovery, let's say you're having the admin access, right? And you have a team of 10. Let's say somebody left the organization, or let's say somebody has forgotten, or somebody's system has crashed. So is there a way where you can recover the password, credentials, or recover the data which that particular person or the system was related to? Yes, you can do that if you have the admin access to your Okta account. Now, moving ahead with the fourth question. So, now mention some event attribute hooks, right? So, the answer for this question is name and field, authentication secret, custom header files, subscribers to events. So, these are the event attribute hooks that will be used during such event hooks. You want to create whenever an event hook is created, these are the attributes which will be required to generate that particular event hook, right? So these are the ones which your interviewer will be expecting from you. So take a quick screenshot so that it can be resourceful for you, or you can just follow the channel so that you don't have to worry about any of these updates which you want or which you will be needing in your future interviews. Now proceeding with the fifth question. What is our state token? So this might be a beginner level question again. So the answer for this question is state token in Okta is nothing but ephemeral token that is mainly used to authenticate or the present state of transactions. The state token is generated during performing authentication process or authent end process and converts session token once the user authentication is done. Okay, so let's say yeah, we know that Okta will open all the credentials. When you just log into Okta, it will open all the things related to cloud, right? So you'll have a complete access to your cloud. But again, whenever, let's say you got access to AWS and you wanted to run a query, right? Before the query is run, Okta creates a token. It will add time, date, and which system has the access currently, and who is the user, and what type of query is he trying to run. Everything will be generated in term of a token. So this particular token is called as state token. When you get authentication, very next thing what happens is creation of state token. So this particular state token will register every activity what you're doing and what are the transactions you're trying to perform. Everything will be recorded, and that particular state token will be active for that particular instance or session what you're running on Okta. So that is the answer you need to give. So this can be asked to even an intermediate candidate as well. Now going to the next question, what is an SSO? What do you mean by SSO? The answer is, firstly, the full form of SSO is single sign-on or sign-in, right? So remember we discussed, once you get Okta, every login credential you want to remember or you want to forget will be of, you'll be seamless. It will offer you everything, right? So that is SSO. So this is one of the biggest feature of Okta. What it does, it one single sign in or one single sign on of Okta is eligible or valid or enough to get access of whatever software you're running with, right? So single sign-on allows users to access all their applications by signing in just once. With SSO, users only need to memorize one single password. So the advantages are, it increases usability, accessibility, and productivity, reduces the risk of poor password habits, eliminates the need of multiple passwords, reduces the help desk cost. Remember the CTO we discussed? That is the help desk cost. You don't have to hire multiple CTOs or an army of admin people to just assist you with passwords, right? That's the biggest benefit. Now going to the seventh question. What is multi-factor authentication? So pretty straightforward question, can be a beginner level question, right? So multi-factor authentication, if you are a Gmail user, let's say you forgot your Gmail password, then what Gmail does is it gives you an option. If you are the authorized user for this Gmail, then go to certain mobile device, click on a certain number, right? If you are the authorized user, then you will be having that particular mobile phone which is connected to your email. Then the number shown on your PC should be clicked on your phone so that it gives you the access, right? Similar to that, Okta also operates the multi-factor authentication process. So that will be your answer. Multi-factor authentication involves the use of two or more forms of different authentications. Any combination of authentication methods can be used in multi-factor authentication, and you can log in to your system. So multi-factor authentication can be used in two ways. First, when you forget the password. Second, let's say Okta wants you to stay updated, or Okta might have got a doubt that somebody else may be able to predict your password. For safety reason, you can change the password, something like that. So for those reasons, and moving ahead, we have the eighth question. What is Okta Universal Directory? What is Universal Directory? Right. When you listen to the term directory, you might have got a foggy image of what can it be. Yes, you are right. What is Universal Directory of Okta is, it can be like metadata, data of data. So it is the directory which saves the details about all the files or all the software things. It's like a dump where you have all the things. It is the place where you have credentials of all the users or credentials of all the applications you're running with that particular system, right? So in a detailed way, let's learn it through the answer. So the answer is, the Universal Directory allows you to store employee, partner, and customer profiles in Okta, generating a user-based single source of truth. Using Profile Editor, you can extend, customize user and app-specific profiles, as well as transform and map attributes between profiles. All of these features provide robust provisioning support, right? So it is one place where you can have all the profiles and details about those profiles handled. You can either add or remove their accessibility or profile, right? So that is what Okta Universal Directory is. Moving ahead, we have the ninth question. Imagine you are an admin. Can you see the user's password credentials? A little sneaky, right? So this is a question that is asked to intermediates and experienced. Barely to experienced if the interviewer believes that if you say you're an experienced candidate and you're not answering some questions, and the interviewer might feel or might tend to feel that you're not really an experienced one, then these are the type of tricky questions what your interviewer will ask you. This can be also a good question, intellectual question to a beginner if you're performing or outperforming the expectations of your interviewer. So a little sneaky and interactive question. So let's imagine you're an admin, and do you have the authority to see users' passwords there? Right now, since you say then since I said Okta, you can recover all the profiles. Right? So kind of a little brain teasing question. So the answer is basically no. You cannot see the user's passwords or credentials. This is the right answer. So why you can't see the credentials, and how are you even able to recover when you don't have the credentials? This might be a question. So this can be a homework to you. Please go to the Okta tutorial on our channel so that you have much more detailed information about Okta. So with that, let's go to the next question. So the answer is basically no, you can't see the credentials. Then what is SAML in Okta? The answer is AWS supports users to perform identity federation with security assets markup language. Let's say for HTML, for web pages, you have HTML. That is a markup language for HTML to provide any kind of visuals or any kind of activities on your web page, right? So similarly, when you are connected, so again, SAML is exclusively for Amazon AWS only, not any other cloud support. Let's say, since I said Okta provides you the credential support to all the cloud services which you're logging in. So similarly, when Okta is in collaboration with AWS, let's say your organization is working with AWS for all the data operations, then SAML is the identity federation language which provides the support, right? This is the one which right, AWS users use to perform identity federation with security assertion markup language as an open standard to many identity providers use. The feature enables single sign-on to operate properly, so users can log into any management system console or call API to create an IAM user for everyone in the organization. So any kind of operations you want to perform through Okta on AWS can be done through SAML. That is the whole picture of it. Now, with that discussed, let's go to 11th question. Can you set up an email notification to users? Brilliant. This question can be applied to all the three users. All the three candidates, beginners, experienced, and intermediate. Let's say you have a team of 100, not 5, not 10, 100. And there is a new software patch rolling down soon, and it is very critical patch thing. So and it might also even require your systems to go down for about 30 minutes or so, which is a very biggest downtime. Not a joke. 30 minutes downtime is not a joke. So and nobody knows it, and you are the person here who was supposed to tell every single person. And will you personally go to everyone and say this in their ears, or can you send out an email? Okay, you might not have email IDs of all the users, all the employees, right? So can you do it through Okta? That is the question. It's not just a generic Gmail that you're sending out there. You are sending an email notification through Okta. So can it be done is the question. So the answer is yes, it can be done. And the way through which you can do it is you have to navigate through Okta admin console. So only the admins can do it. So provided you are an admin, you can do it. So the answer is you have to go to admin console, select the directory, click on the directory integration, choose add. Add is the advertisement, add, and then select settings menu. Uncheck don't send a new user activation email for this domain, and you can then personally write down the email whatever you want and then send it. With that, let's go to the 12th question. Can you remove a remembered device or account to reuse it for MFA? The answer is yes. There are, repeat, the answer is yes. They are a way to forget the remembered device in MFA, that is multi-factor authentication, a table called people where you can find the reset multi-factor button, and then this clears this clears any MFA setup on any device or account. Now the 30th question: can you quickly add multiple users on Okta? So let's say you hired a batch of new employees and you have to add them all to Okta. Can you do it? The answer is yes. You can add users in bulk by using the following navigation. Select directory, click more actions, choose the option import users from a CSV. So first thing, you have to add all the users and the credentials onto an Excel sheet. Then choose that in the form of C and save it in the form of CSV, and then choose that particular option which imports users from CSV file. That is Excel file. 14th question: what is the way to give priorities to password? Your answer is Okta Universal Directory that offers group password policies in case where higher priority takes place first over others. Now the 15th question: can you let users know if their passwords are expiring? Yes, so we also discussed this. So Okta can decide if a certain password should have an expiry date or something or not, right? So if it feels that the password is predictable or easy to hack or something, then it requests you to change the password every now and then for security purposes, right? So again, this avoids you to remember 20 to 30 passwords for every operation. You just have to change and remember one password through Okta, right? So now coming back to question, can it let users know their passwords are expiring? The answer is yes. Okta provides an option for the Okta users for this option, and they can be navigated as follows. Select securities, click authentication, choose default policy. You will find a prompt user X days, that is X number of days before the password expires, and it can be done. 16th question: what is the purpose of Okta's device trust serve? So the answer is users using Okta device trust solution can access the application only from the verified devices. Right, we discussed in the very beginning. You cannot just log into any device through Okta and have access to the cloud. The device you're using should also be authenticated to through Okta, right? So only if the device that you're using is authenticated via Okta, you have the access or you have the authority to use Okta and all the other services that are running through Okta. Now the next question: what does Okta Health Insight do? The answer for this question is Okta Health Insight conducts a security setting audit for an organization. Additionally, it gives us duties to improve the security posture. These suggested securities are exclusively for administrators who are in charge of overseeing staff at the company. So what it does is basically it checks or keeps track of all the Okta users, and it checks if there are some malicious activities running in background. Let's say one of the employees is not, maybe he is doing some illegal activity and he is disclosing company's confidential data to your competitors or something. So you want to check if what is doing, right? You just keep track of everything. You can do that through Okta Health Insight. And also you can check if all the devices have good memory and all the devices are running perfectly or not. Just a regular routine check. So that is what Okta Health Insight does. So this can be a question to experienced candidates. Now the 18th question: what is delegate authentication and what does it do? Again, experience level question. So the answer is delegated authentication allows users to sign into Okta by entering credentials for their organization's Active Directory. Users can sign into Okta using delegated authentication by entering their Active Directory login credentials. Now, the next question: what do you mean by identity providers? The answer is identity providers or IDPs are services that manage user accounts. Adding IDPs to Okta enables end users to self-register with your custom applications by first authenticating with social account or smart card. Now, proceeding to the next question. That was a pretty simple one. 19th question is just creating a social account or any of the smart cards to get login credentials. Now the 20th question: what is the right way to create Okta API token? Again, this is an experience level question and most frequently asked question to all the candidates in experience level. Let's say you have an API in between Okta and the service provider, service you are accessing to. let's say AWS or Azure or any service. Now, whenever an API used in between Okta and the service, again, we discussed about the session token, right? State token and everything. So, which is the right way to create that particular token? Right, you have some prerequisites to, some things your profiling need to be done, right? So, what is the way to create that particular token is the question. So, the answer is following is the step-by-step procedure. First, navigate to service account dashboard. Select security from service account dashboard. Choose the option API under security. Choose the create token option from the API page, and this allows us to generate an Okta API token. This is the step-by-step way. This is the right way to create an Okta API token. Now, the 21st one. What is the need for device trust solutions, sir? Right. We understood, or we have an overview what DTS is, device trust solution is, right? Now, what is the need of it? The question is about that. So the answer is users using the Okta device trust can access the application only from verified devices. So the answer is about the security purpose. So this is a beginner level or intermediate level question. So that is why we need DTS or device trust solution. Now, 22nd one. What is a notification page? So the answer is as simple as that, right? It is self-explanatory. The notification page allows us to create new personalized notifications as well as examine all the notifications we have sent and deleted. The 23rd question. Can systems log identity repeat? Can systems logs identify risks? Let's say there are some logs that your system is, logging down, whatever happened, what the activities, what you're doing on the system. And one or two, it was able to register, which are some risk posing logs, right? So let's say you missed out, you did not focus much and you missed out on that. So can system do it for you? Can it identify? Yeah, the answer is yes. By combining any of the following reasons listed below, the system logs give insights to identify risks. First one, potential threat, usual device, or unusual device and unusual location. If any of these things are in combination with the log that is happening, it will automatically identify it as risky. First one, potential threat and unusual device. Remember the DTS thing, device trust solutions and unusual location. Remember the DTS again. So if an unusual location has been, let's say it is a trusted device, again, it'll keep track of the location what you're using. Let's say your laptop got stolen. Fingers crossed, that's where it doesn't happen in your real life. But again, it got something like such event happened, and somebody went to a different country and tried to access your organization data from an unusual location, right? So in that situation, it can identify that it is risky. Now with that, let's go to the next question. What are the reasons of Okta's high demand? So the answer is Okta is in high demand for 3 reasons listed below. Okta assists organizations in creating customer-focused experiences. Okta aids in prevention of data breaches. Okta aids in Okta aids in the development and modernization of IT. So they can also ask, give me or mention some best features of Okta. You can again say the same answers. 25th question. What are the various Okta products? The answer is Okta offers a wide range of products. First one, SSO, that is single sign-on, management of lifecycle, a global directory, authentication with multiple factors, Okta API services. These are the various products of Okta. 26th. What is the difference between SCIM connector and server? The answer is the System for Cross-Domain Identity Management, or SCIM, is an acronym for System for Cross-Domain Identity Management. Okay. Then Okta is linked on-premises applications for using SCIM. Okta and on-premise applications communicate through Okta Provisioning Agent and SCIM server through Provisioning Connector built on the Provisioning Connector SDK, or Software Development Kit. So basically, SCIM is the one which manages the applications, right? Whatever the application should run on the service provider or on the service, the user's end. And Okta does the communications through application. with the applications through SCIM. So via the software development kit, which has been inbuilt, right? So that is the difference between SCIM connector and server. So it is again a little complex topic to explain in one single paragraph. So for better explanation, you can visit to the SCIM, SCCM tutorials what we have on our website and also the YouTube channel. And you can also go through the Okta tutorial, fundamentals tutorial on our channel, so that you can have a little more best understanding of the concepts. Now with that, the 27th question, what are the two attributes to define the Okta user's most recent login? Experience level question, straightforward. So which are the two attributes that you should consider to identify user's most recent login? So the answer is, when a Okta user log on to their account, the add attributes last login and last logon timestamps are modified and updated to the most recent. And that are the attributes you need to focus on. 28th question, what is a state token in Okta? Certified administrator. So we understood what is state token. So what is the state token for Okta certified admin is the question. The answer is, a state token is a temporary token that encodes the current transaction state. Now, 29th, can you download all the users or groups from Okta? Let's say you are the admin and for some reason you had to keep a track of, you keep an inventory where you have all the users and groups from your Okta domain, the organization's domain. So can you do it? The answer is, all users and groups cannot be found in single location. The system logs and reports will contain 80% of them. Permissions and users can be found in the security administration directory. Now the 30th question. Can you explain what does Okta Verify or entail for end users? The answer is, Okta Verify is a multi-factor authentication created by Okta. You use it to validate your identity so you can securely sign into your organization when you sign into your Okta account. You must first confirm your identity by using Okta Verify app on your phone. Okta can securely sign you in and your account after you confirm your identity. Again, Okta Verify is an authentication service provided by Okta for your devices you connected to your Okta and the cloud services or whatever the service you are accessing through Okta. So this is the best feature again for security purposes. This is again the fundamental question for all three types of candidates: beginner, intermediate, and experienced. What does Okta Verify do and how do you use it, right? Now proceeding ahead, we have the 31st question. What is Okta's purpose? Same question asked in a different way. What is Okta? Right. So Okta connects any person to any app or any device. It is a cloud-based identity management service that's also compatible with many on-premise applications. It can manage any employee's access to any application or or device using Okta. 32nd. Can you list the various client-based solutions of Okta? The answer is, the 4 different client-based solutions of Okta are JAMF Pro Managed Mac OS, Managed Domain Joined Windows, MDM Managed iOS, MDM Managed Android. 33rd question. What are the different SAML based solutions? So the different SAML based solutions are VMware Workspace 1 for iOS and Android devices, VMware Workspace 1 for Mac OS and Windows. 34th question on the list. What is the use of tasks page? Tasks page is used to know the details of tasks enlisted within the status section, which is present in the dashboard page. Now with that, we have reached the last question on the list. Or what are the types of end users notifications? The answer for this question is, the 2 types of end user notifications are the administrator sent custom notifications. These are notifications that are generated and managed by the administrator only. Something like the patch update or any of the updates which are user defined or man defined ones, which are the admin defined ones. And the other one is new app assignments. These notifications are automatically sent to the end user whenever they are assigned with a new application. So these are the 2 types of end user applications in Okta. And with that, we have finished the list of top 35 interview questions which are most frequently asked to all the 3 variety of candidates: beginner, intermediate, and experienced. And we have reached to the sugarcoating on type of repeat. And we have reached to the icing on top of the cake, that is the top 10 tips that you need to crack your interview in first trial. So now the first Understand or review the fundamentals. Ensure you have a solid understanding of the core concepts of identity and access management and single sign-on. Familiarize yourself with Okta features such as user management, authentication, and authorization. Second one, study Okta architecture, which is learn about Okta's architecture, including components like Okta Identity Card Identity Cloud, Okta Integration Network, and various integration options. Understand how Okta works with different applications, protocols, and directories. Hands-on experience is the third one. Gain practical experience with Okta by working on real-world scenarios or setting up a demo environment. Practice configuring applications, user provisioning, SSO configurations, and lifecycle management. Fourth one is know the integration process or integration options. Familiarize yourself with different integration options provided by Okta, such as SAML, OAuth, OpenID Connect, and LDAP. Understand when and how to use these protocols in various scenarios. Fifth one is explore Okta Administration. Understand the Okta Administration console and its functionalities. Be prepared to discuss user management, groups, rules, policies, and access controls within Okta. And the sixth one is learn security concepts. Brush up on or refresh your knowledge on security concepts such as encryption, token-based authentication, multi-factor authentication, and secure coding practices. Be prepared to discuss how Okta addresses these security concerns. Seventh one, research Okta products and services. Familiarize yourself with Okta products offering beyond core IAM such as adaptive multi-factor authentication, that is AMFA, Universal Directory, Okta Workflows, and Lifecycle Management. Understand their capabilities and use cases. The eighth one on the list is be aware of industry standards. Stay updated with industry standards related to IAM and SSO such as markup language, SAML, OAuth, OpenID Connect, and SCIM, that is System for Crowd. Be prepared to discuss their significance in Okta when asked. Coming to the ninth point, prepare yourself for Okta specific interview questions. Research and practice common interview questions specific to Okta, such as Okta integration scenarios, troubleshooting common issues, configuring multi-factor authentication, or handling complex access control requirements. And lastly, the most important one, stay up to date with Okta. Keep yourself informed about the latest Okta features, updates, and news. Stay aware of Okta's integration with cloud technologies, emerging security trends, and new functionalities introduced by Okta in their product offerings. Remember, while these steps can help you prepare, it's important to adapt your answers to your own experiences and understanding of Okta. Demonstrating your practical skills, problem-solving abilities, and knowledge of IAM and SSO concepts will greatly increase your chances of cracking the Okta interview. Good luck. And with that, we have come to an end of this session on Okta interview questions by techknowlazy. Should you have any queries or concerns with any of the concepts discussed or any of the questions discussed, or should you require the resources and questions that we discussed in this session, please feel free to let us know in the comment section below, and our team of experts will be happy to help you out. And also, if you wish to help our community and the users to learn a bit more, and if you have something to add on, then your valuable input will be encouraged. Please repeat. Then your valuable input will be encouraged. Please feel free to let us know in the comment section below. And with that, signing off, thank you for watching and stay tuned for more from techknowlazy.